Hello, guys. We were discussing about properties, real estate, so to say. One of my colleagues has bought some home at his native place. So the discussion was about real estate. Discussion veered towards careers, basically the progress and the success that we achieve in our careers. After the discussion, I just thought of analogy between careers and real estates. While because I was looking at this whole discussion from a career perspective only. So I could do I was actually surprised by this analogy myself. If you look at careers and real estate, careers also follow the same process or same steps that typically all of us tend to follow in real estates. For example, at the start, you may rent a place to stay, accommodation. You may have a tent somewhere on Saturday, Sundays, and you obviously may aspire to have a bungalow or mansion of your own. So in careers also can be in three stages. Whether you want to build a career that is mansion, whether you want to make your career as a mansion, whether you want to make your career as a rented place, accommodation, or whether you want your career to be tent like that. These are the three options that typically all of us can have, and these are the only three options around which, and the combinations around which all of us play along in our professions and careers. So I just thought of sharing this analogy with you. So whether you want to make your career a mansion or a rented place or a tent, the choice is yours. Let us understand more about this. Now, if you are building a home or mansion, for example, if I'm building a career as a mentioned, so basically what I need is long-term commitment, long-term investment in terms of finances, time, resources, my mental strength, physical strength, and commitment to long-term growth and stability. Because these are the positives that I will be getting from building my own mansion, because the place will be mine. I will be the owner of the place, and then I don't have to take anybody's permission to make any changes or alteration or modifications or improvements in my mansion. Similarly, all my family and all my relatives can also always take benefit of my mansion, and even when I leave from this world, my my children and my family will be able to enjoy this mansion for a long period of time. I'm talking about business, for example. If you look at entrepreneurship or business as a career, then you are actually building a mansion as a career. You are building career as a mansion. That means working towards building a home or a mansion wherein all of your family can stay, and it is not only transient. It will stay and sustain even after you are gone. So legacy and value you are creating. You are basically creating a legacy. That is why even when you are gone, your family will be able to cherish and get benefited from the mansion that you have built for them. So this is about one aspect of career. But that means you are building your own business as a career, which is mentioned. The second is whether you are working in in an organization. Like, for example, you are renting a place. You are staying on the rent at a place which is convenient to you, not convenient from the financial perspective, the rent perspective, or the other necessities of life perspective, or transportation perspective, or the place is near to your workplace, etc. So the rental place that you basically choose depends on your budget, your convenience, and your comfort, and the neighborhood that you seek. So in careers also, in the organizations where you are working are basically rented places. So you are in this case they are paying rent to you for working for them, but this is a rental place. So that means you do not own this place. You have no authority to make any changes or modifications in this place other than the KRA, and obviously you have no value other than the visiting card or the business card that you carry, and you are certainly not creating any kind of legacy. But because when you leave the company, or when you get retired from the company, or when you are thrown from the company, you will not get any benefits. Your family will not get any your family will not get any benefits, and your family will not be able to continue the work that you are doing. Just like in business, for example, mansion. If you have your own mansion, even after you are terminated, your family will be able to utilize the mansion as it is. Whereas when you are rented place, when you are working for somebody, for some person or some organization, your family, once you are out of the organization, once you are out of the rental place, your family or even you will not be able to utilize any of the resources that the organization provides. And for everything that you need to do in the organization, you will need approval from the landowner or the homeowner, the landlord, so to say. Then there is but the positive side of the rented places, there is very limited investment. I was just the before that, before going to a rented place, the I was talking about building a mansion. Now, building a mansion, obviously ownership and control is there. You can control your personal and professional trajectory, shape your path, and make decisions that align with your objective. It also needs continuous improvements. For example, if the since the mansion is yours, you will have to take care of all the maintenance, and continuous improvement is required. For continuous improvement of your mansion as a career mansion, you will need skill development, continuous learning, and adaptation to situations and interpersonal communication. So all these aspects come into picture when you have your own mansion. Continuous improvement is very important. Continuous maintenance is very important. Whereas in the rented place, if at all we can do the basic maintenance, but if there's a major maintenance coming up in the rented place, organization or the landlord will take care of all the maintenance. That is the benefit of being a staying on rent. Then control over the ownership is not there. Control over your living space is very limited. We can do only as much as the landlord suggests or permits, and the rules and regulations of the landlord are to be followed. If he says that you should be back in home before 9 p.m., you should be. If he says that the water will be available only at 7 a.m., you will get the water only at 7 a.m. So just like organizations. So it is about employment or working as a employee in some organization. There is no equity or there is no value that you are generating for yourself other than the salary that you are getting, or maybe incentives if you get it. Then control is limited, then short-term focus. Now these rented places are better if your focus is short-term. If you want just to spend 2, 3, 4, 5 years in an organization at a rental place, and you have certain other objectives, or you are not sure whether this is the right place for you, then obviously renting or working in organization can be a good option. So short-term focus, short-term mindset, and immediate needs are more important than the long-term goals. Then renting a place is more convenient. And the third one is building a tent, for example, freelancers. So we saw building a mansion, that means you are building your own business and you are creating a legacy. You have a complete control. You need a lot of investment of time, resource, finance, money, and basically thought process and health. The second point we saw is renting place, where you are working as an employee in an organization. You have limited control, very less investment, and you can move from we can have a temporary accommodation. Focus is short term. Focus is short term. There is no value or legacy that you are building, and it is very convenient. The third point of basically is building a tent, or for building a tent. For example, you are not sure whether this is the right place for you to stay, and you are not sure where you want to go. Then obviously you can build a tent and stay there as long as you get the clarity about what next. So building a tent is like freelancing. For example, if I'm not clear at the start of my career or in my career what to do, what I should be doing in my next 20, 30 years. So just to explore, just to understand what my likings and passions and hobbies are and my strengths are, I will try multiple things, which is freelancing. I will just build tents. I will build a tent at certain location. I will try and find out whether it is suitable to me, whether I can accommodate in that adjoining area surroundings. And then if it is not, then I will move to a new place because it is mobile, it is very convenient. It is very convenient to dismantle and take it away, and it's also very convenient to build again. So until unless I get the clarity that I need to settle at this specific location, then only I will start thinking about building my own mansion or staying on rent first before getting the feel of the area. Now, tents can be interesting. Tents can be more convenient when the location in which you are trying to stay are not very urban or rural or distant from the civilization. So in those situations, also freelancing, that building a tent is akin to freelancing, where you can try multiple things that you think you can do, and also at the same time you can get paid. The overheads are minimal. Then it is a temporary solution because it is only giving you shelter for the time being. Short-term needs are made, especially during travel. When you're traveling, when you're exploring the world, when you're exploring the careers, then investment is limited, very less investment both in terms of time and resources. It is very flexible and mobile. You can always dismantle the tent at any one point in time and move on. So focus is very short-term goals, and focus on immediate needs. As long as I'm meeting my immediate needs, I'm getting my short-term goals met. Obviously, tenting can be a good solution. That is freelancing. So we could see there can be three aspects of careers, whether you want to go long term, you want to build your own legacy and value, and you want to build your own business, then you are trying to build a mansion. when you are basically trying to just pass through the life while you are planning to build a mansion. It can be a rented place. You can be working at some place that is a rental accommodation, and while staying at rented accommodation, you are also planning for building a mansion. That also is possible. And the third option was building a tent and working as a freelancer. So there can be multiple combinations of all these. For example, a person who is, for a person like me, for example, I'm an employee at certain organization. That means I'm actually staying at a rental place, and then I'm also working on whatever we are doing now. I'm also working on building a mansion, which is building my own business. At the same time, I may try to build a tent on Saturdays and Sundays at certain location like Matharan or Mahabaleshwar, where I can enjoy the nature. Freelancing, that also is possible. So only point here is, like Infosys, people should not say that you are moonlighting. It is very crucial. So as long as you are following the legal compliance of the workforce and workplace, everything is fine. So the options can be, the combinations can be any. For example, a freelancer who is building a tent can always aspire to have a rented accommodation, or he may aspire to directly build a mansion. He may be already working while staying in the tent also. He may be also planning to build a mansion. That means he's also planning to build a business. That is also possible. A person who has a mansion, person's already built a mansion, would also like to travel and build a tent on some Saturday, Sundays, or any other place at any other time. That also is possible. He may like to freelance. He may like to try certain new things in life, in profession. That's also possible. The same person who has a mansion on his own, who has built a business, also can try renting a place or try some accommodate some part of business to be rented to some place. That means he can have employees, or he may work as a consultant or employee to somebody else. That also is possible, as long as the agendas and objectives and needs are met. Obviously these combinations can be worked out. The objective of the video is not to say that the building the mansions is good, building the staying on rent is bad, or staying as a freelancer building a tent is bad. No, I'm saying it depends on our own choice, and no, we cannot judge what others are doing. So as long as you are comfortable building a tent and aspiring to be a building a mansion, perfectly fine. If you already have a mansion and you aspire to rent your place, that is also fine. If you already have a mansion and you are trying to build a tent on Saturdays and Sundays, that also is fine. So if you once we start looking at careers from this angle, obviously a lot of things would get clear. Whether you are a job hopper, a butterfly, that means you are a freelancer, or you are a employee who staying in a rented place for 1, 2, 3, 4 years and then moving to the next lease of 11 months or 4 years or 3 years or 2 years. You are getting less investment, you are comfortable, you have very less control, but still it is meeting your requirements, and at the same time you are planning to build your own mansion. That is also okay. I have seen a lot of people staying on the rent throughout their lives and retire happily. I've seen a lot of people who are freelancers throughout their life building tents, and they have built a business based on tents. That also is possible. I've seen a lot of people who have their own mansions but they are not happy. So these pros and cons and combinations of all these three aspects can basically make our careers real estates in real sense of the word. So we first just need to understand whether we are staying in a tent, whether we are in a rental accommodation, or whether we are in the building in our own mansion. If not, can we build a tent? Can we get into rental accommodation? Can we build a mansion? So, and if at all we plan to do any of these, building a tent, staying in a rental accommodation at some other location or some convenient location, or some posh location which we cannot afford now, or build a mansion, that also is possible. So if at all we decide to do one of these, what next? What steps shall we follow so that we can meet our objectives and goals in the real state of the term real estate? Thank you very much.